This is sunbathing sheep. All on her own out here this morning. Well, this afternoon it is now. Well, the sun's gone in now, I've mentioned it. The chickens are enclosed. Gonna let them out. Mark let them out this morning. I wasn't able to come down. I came down yesterday. Hello. That's Mrs. Broody. I think she's Mrs. Moulting as well. I shut her in that run yesterday. And then it rained a lot. And there's no shelter in that run. So when I came down to let her out, she was pretty wet. Which is good really, because it will cool her off. Which is what you're meant to do when you've got broody hens. You're meant to cool them down. Somebody going under there. The eggs are being laid under there some days. It couldn't be in the most inaccessible place. When I was growing up, the story was from Mum and Dad was that Mum had promised Dad, well, she'd look after him in his old age. He was 12 years older than her, and her promise was, I'll look after you in old age. And the joke was that in much later years, he was the one getting an allowance. I can't remember what the allowance was for actually helping her and getting her dressed, and a attendance allowance. And this morning I felt so bad. I felt so bad because I'd gone for 2 days without any pharmaceutical analgesia, thinking I'll move over to the CBD oil. And by this morning, I had a good night, but by this morning, I got up. I wasn't in pain, but within 10 minutes I was in pain. And when you're in pain 10 minutes after getting up, and if you're not going to, I took the CBD oil, and after about an hour that hadn't had any impact. Well, the problem is it's not going to go away, and it just gets worse because you're in pain, so your posture's bad, trying to keep the pain at bay. So once Mark had gone up, I went up to get dressed because it got really cold, and I sort of struggled to get dressed because there's so many bloody layers. I hate it. I love it in the summer when you just put on one layer. So I'm putting on several layers, and each subsequent layer is getting caught and dragging on the first layer. Can't get the seams straight. They get twisted, and that's the Princess and the Pea stuff. Twisted seams, really, really irritating. So in the end, he's having to dress me, and I'm just feeling bad, He's 75-ish, almost, next month, and he's having to dress me. Then I went out and onto the mezzanine and saw in the mirror that my jumper was inside out, so I had to go back in and get that taken off and put back on again. And then he then had lots of jobs to do because I couldn't do any of them. I said to him, I can't empty the dishwasher, I can't do this. He had to light the fire because I was cold, had to empty the dishwasher, bring the laundry down, let the chickens out. We share the tasks on the good days, but on the bad days it's all down to him, and I hate it. I hate it because I just feel, I think, I've spent our life together for 22 years taking care of him. Not that he needs taking care of, but it's what you do, isn't it? When you love someone, you take care of them and do stuff for them. That's what I do. And not being able to do it feels alien and frustrating, and it makes me very sad. So when I was up getting dressed, I gave in and took codeine and paracetamol. My neck's aching now, sitting talking to you, but actually within an hour of doing that I began to feel better and was able to help put the shopping away when that arrived, and make the coffee and make some lunch, and I'm able to come down here and do some filming for you. So I'm going to carry on taking the CBD oil and hopefully just gradually let go of the stronger painkillers, but at the moment I can't do that. I've got to see my doctor tomorrow. I don't think he's going to be very impressed with me. We'll see. I'm certainly enjoying the acorns, which is pleasing because, apart from that, I used to make coffee with acorns, I think, or a form of coffee with acorns in the war. But there isn't a use for them. I don't have a use for them. It's a bit like conkers, horse chestnuts. There's not really any use for them, and it's a shame really to have all that on the, all those falling fruits or seeds. Perhaps I'll have a Google and see what's going on. See if there is more use for acorns, although it's a bit late now. So it's nice out here. It's windy out the front. Probably if I was further into the garden it would be windy, but down here it doesn't feel or seem very windy. Somebody very happy under that potting table, making very happy noises. Thankfully not Mrs. Broody. Mrs. Broody has just, I've just seen something chucked up over there in their dust bath. It looks like a bit of plastic. Hope it's not an egg. No, I think it's just an old bit of plastic. I ought to remember to drop diatom down onto that area. I won't now because I'll just disturb them. But some diatom dropped on to there would be good, because then they could, get into their feathers and... I don't know whether you can hear her making very contented noises. I think I will go and get the diatom. Well, that made everybody move because I kept making noises. But there is diatom in there for next time. Well, she's going back for more. That's good. She's not so easily put off, although she's checking that out and thinking, what's all that dust on here? So these two cockerels are still getting on okay. And the older cockerel's still in charge because he's still... I see this one responding to being, move along please. I can't believe I've been keeping chickens almost 20 years. I can't remember exactly what year it was in Devon when I first had chickens. I think it might have been 2003. So yeah, 20 years. And over the time we've had all different types and sizes and much larger flocks than this. I think the most I've had, I think when we lived here, the most I've had was about 20. I remember the first time I wanted to hatch some chickens, my friend Julia in Shetland posted me some hatching eggs. And amazingly, coming from Shetland, they arrived the next day in Devon. And then another friend of mine, Robert, posted me his incubator so I could borrow his incubator, and I incubated the 4 Shetland eggs. And it was so cute because I could sit in the garden in the evening after work, and they would, the chicks and as they were older, the pullets would come and sit on my lap because I was mum. I can't remember how many of them were cockerels eventually, but I know that my friend Heather, who I worked with at the nursing home I was managing, had to come and reduce the cockerel numbers for me, which was kind of her. Right, it's a bit chilly. Bright, pretty, and chilly. I'm going to go back indoors now.